What's up, guys? I got the keys here back with another video. So, I'm sure a few of you who are watching this video are going through something where it feels like everything is falling apart and there's maybe a bunch of chaos going on, right? At least that's what you're perceiving. But I'm here to tell you that that is not failure and it's also not punishment. What we don't understand is that when things like this happen, tends to be the breakdown before you get what you actually want, right? Now, it doesn't always happen like this, but a lot of times things have to be shaken up and removed and changed around for the new things to come in, right? Um, so if you are going through this period of stagnation, frustration, being annoyed with the wait, you're being patient and you've done the work and you've embodied the state of the person, but it's still not here, right? I get it. It sucks to have to sit around and wait. Um, but the truth is you're being prepared, right? Um, and we don't see this in the moment sometimes. So it's like, we may go through these periods of, getting fired from a job or, I don't know, your car breaks down or, you lose friends or family. You may, whatever. There's so many examples here, but chaos can happen before something that you've been working on shows up. And this is not, even though it may feel like stagnation, it's not. This is actually everything being prepared for you. So that, in terms of Neville Goddard, they have the bridge of events, right? That he talks about. Basically, this is where, you've manifested the thing, it's yours. But there could be an occurrence of a bridge of events that happen leading up to that event, right? Of getting that thing or um, whatever, right? So, sometimes this can take a year, sometimes this can take months, sometimes it can take days, right? It just depends. Um, Everything is aligned perfectly, right? And we should take that, every day and be not, and you shouldn't worry about when it's going to get here anyways, right? And I know a lot of us, we want to, the ego wants to know, when is it going to be here? When, how, why, Um, but the truth is we don't need to know any of that. God has it planned already. It's already yours, so why would you even worry about when it shows up, right? Um, so, patience is a key, but there's also, we don't just want to sit around waiting in that sense where we're just, sitting on the couch eating potato chips waiting. Right? No. Still take actions, still do things that align with that version of yourself, right? Keep building, keep paying things off, keep taking care of your body, keep just up leveling, right? Expanding. Um, that's the biggest thing you can do for yourself is to keep going in, right? Keep doing your meditations, keep staying inward, um, and stay in the kingdom inside of you, right? Jesus said the kingdom is within you. It's also without you, right? So, whatever, basically your kingdom is your wish fulfilled, right? That is where you are living. You are in the kingdom. Um, and again, things may have to break down before that shows up, that version of your life, because I know, like, especially for me, I'm manifesting multiple things at once where, that version of me has all of it, right? The car, the money, the house. And it's not just for materialism, right? It's to actually show that this stuff works, right? And with having all of that stuff, that actually represents my new state, right? So it's not just about, oh, getting more money or getting the car or getting the best job or whatever, but it's more about, this is who I am, so it comes to me, right? um and if you think that God wants you to be broke, if you think that source wants you to be broke, if you think that source wants you to be poor or any of that. No, no, that's not the case. Source wants everything that's good for you. But source can only give you whatever you think you deserve, or whatever you believe in, truthfully, like within you, right? So, well, I should say whatever you know to be true, right? So, whatever you have faith in is what will show up. So, do you have complete and utter faith in yourself and in the thing or the person that you need to become, right? And that you already are that person. I shouldn't even have said become, right? Because I mean, yes, you will need to change inner things. You will need to get rid of old traumas and fears and everything, right? But you're just remembering. So it's not even that you're doing anything, right? You're just naturally getting rid of the things that are not actually you, right? So fears, doubts, worries, right? These are not you. These are things that are showing up to clear, right? And coming back to who you really are, which is love. So in that state of love, you know that you are everything. Therefore, nothing is outside of you. Even though all of this stuff appears to be outside, right? But here's the thing is your consciousness is not only within you, but it's without you. So all is consciousness. Therefore, nothing is separate. So you are the car, you are the job, you are the other people, you are the partner, you are everything and nothing, right? So therefore, anything that you can bring from the nothing, the womb, the mother, you can bring into the physical world, right? Um, and again, that may take time, and that's okay. Um, Now again, things can show up overnight, but it really depends on how much how much faith you actually have that it could show up overnight, right? Because there's always that lingering thought in the back that says, oh, well, I have to take care of this first. I have to get rid of this first, whatever, right? Um, but don't push yourself to manifest stuff overnight, okay? Simply keep working on embodying the state, staying in the state. And it doesn't have to be all the time, but at least, once or twice a day, just try and, put your imagination to work and put yourself in the scene in the first person of you seeing this through your eyes. Picture something that, you know, would embody that state. So, if you were buying this new car or whatever, maybe your friend would come up to you and say, "Whoa, man, you finally got the car." You know what I mean? Like, so you could picture that vision of the friend coming up to you saying, "Hey, man, you got the car. Like, congratulations." Blah blah blah. Right? Just an example, of living in the end. So this is where you want to live, and so whatever you want, you just simply have to put yourself in that state, and the more sensory things you can get living in the imagination, so touch, smell, taste, etc., right? um, the more things that you can feel, experience, and to make it real now, the easier it is for it to embody in the physical world, okay? Because your subconscious is impressed once it knows, once it has complete faith, right? Um, and once you've experienced something, you know it to be true. So even if it's in the imagination, it is still experienced because there is no difference between imagination and the physical world. We are all imagination. We are living in the imagination of God, right? So therefore we have that same power. Okay? Um so have no fear. Trust that the things that you're working on are bringing you towards that highest version of yourself. And just because it doesn't happen in a week or a day doesn't mean it's not here. Okay? Um and I know it gets annoying and you're like, when is it going to show up? Where is it? I blah blah blah, but the problem is the more you ask that, you're not embodying the state, right? And I know that gets annoying to hear, trust me. But we have to sit with that and really ask, why am I trying to rush something that I already know is mine, right? Um, so if you are having any issues with this, right? If you are having any trouble, embodying the state, or even just, changing something within, you do not need me, okay? But if you are looking for some help, some guidance, and or maybe just somebody to listen to your, whatever's going on in your life, I'm here. All of my stuff will be down in the description. All you have to do is send a email to me with your name and a short description of what you're going through, and we will set up a video call. Okay. Um, I would love to talk to anybody that needs it. So I'm here for that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.